Hi, I'm Gene Trowbridge of the law firm Trowbridge & Ney. We are securities attorneys, and here I'm today talking to you about my book, my 5th edition, which was a bestseller on Amazon when it came out. And when I wrote my book, I really have a series of questions I wanted to address for the reader, and I put each question in a chapter, really. And today I'm going to talk about this 5th chapter, which is there a typical structure that I see in syndications today? And there certainly is, and generally, I don't have a picture, but it's in the book. Generally, there's an entity up here called the investment entity, and that's what's going to own the property or the project or the business. Everything is up here. It's probably an LLC, a limited partnership, or a corporation. Then over here are the investors. And in a limited partnership, they're called LPs. In a limited liability company, they're called members. And in a corporation, they're called shareholders. So the shareholders invest, and what do they invest in? They invest in ownership of the investment LLC. And then over here, over here is the manager entity. And the manager entity is either the manager in an LLC, the general partner in a limited partnership, or the board of directors in a corporation. So we have the entity, we have the manager, we have the investors, and there's also sometimes an enhancer category. For example, if you go to the bank and you're trying to get a $10 million loan to run a business or buy a piece of real estate, the manager group has to show the bank that they have $10 million in net worth to qualify for the loan. And if they don't, they bring in an enhancer who signs on the loan and lets them qualify for the loan. So those are basically the typical structures that you're going to find. And in chapter 5, we talk about all the mechanics and the details of each of those structures. But I will tell you, in our business, and we've been doing this for a very, very long time, limited liability companies are probably 95% of the ownership entities that we use, because there's limited liability for the manager and limited liability for the investors. So that's the way as far as structure goes. And I encourage you to get my book and read this chapter and all the other chapters. And this is Gene Trowbridge of Trowbridge Ney Law Group. We're securities lawyers. Go to the website and take advantage of the ways that you can find the book. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If this was helpful, give it a like and leave a comment with your questions. We read them, and they often become future videos. Subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And head to book.tnllp.com to grab a free copy of Gene's best-selling book on securities and crowdfunding. It's a whole new business.